Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Stellos Stadium in Nashua, New Hampshire, home to, among others, the Bishop Guertin Cardinals high school football team. Tonight, they're about to take on their Division II rival, Exeter, the Blue Hawks, to close out the regular season. It has become a storied rivalry with multiple chapters. We're about to see another one unfold right here, and a man who has written many of those game stories during the course of this rivalry is with me, Tom King. Welcome again to the field side, and what an exciting matchup we have again tonight.
This is a great matchup, John, and it's one that you should probably remember. I don't think there's much doubt that we'll see these two teams in 2 weeks again in the Division II finals. I don't think there's enough competition between Winnicott and Alvern to knock either one of these two teams off, although if Winnicott plays Exeter, it would be a rivalry game in the semis. I don't want to get too far ahead,
and
but
yet it's important to win tonight.
It is important because you want to play the championship game here. That's why it was important when Guertin beat Exeter at Exeter last year in the same regular season finale. They wanted to play the finals here. We were here for that game. We saw what a difference that made.
I'll give you another reason why to win a game here. This place is packed.
It's packed. The parking lot is filled. If you're coming, we're watching live. If you're home watching this and you want to come, you better leave now and find a spot because there aren't many spots to find. And John, you know, this could be, depending on what you hear and about what's being done, this could be the last regular season game between these two teams in a while. Because Exeter, from all likelihood, is going to move to Division I, and I don't think Guertin is. I think they're going to stay put.
Interesting, especially when you look at the size of this Guertin team on the sideline.
I would hate to see. I would hate to see that because I don't think that Exeter should move up. I think they should stay where they are because they've got too many rivalries where they are, especially with Winnicott on the Seacoast, Spalding, Dover, those teams in Division II. They're all Seacoast teams. I think that location is a big thing. But if both teams move up, well, I mean, they have a rivalry there. But Guertin would have the two Nashua schools to play. There's a lot to talk about in terms of that. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves. We want to get ahead and see if this Exeter team, which has improved all season long, has the speed to match this Guertin team. I don't think they do, and I think that's the thing that separates Guertin from everybody else. This team speed.
They've got Division I speed, Tom. They are a tremendous football team.
By the way, what a difference a week makes. We saw that Alvern quarterback, Pat Reedy, last week throw 7 interceptions. Last night against Timberlane in a must-win game, he started 9 of 10, 109 yards, threw for a touchdown, ran for a touchdown.
Congratulations to Alvern for making the playoffs.
But what a difference. Yes. Isn't that incredible?
As you wrote about, a big turnaround for that quarterback, big confidence boost going into the playoffs for Alvern, for their junior quarterback, Pat Reedy. As Tom said, a tremendous game after getting beat up on by this team right here, Bishop Guertin, the week earlier. And, you know, that's happened to a lot of teams that have played Bishop Guertin this season. Their record is tremendous. Of course, Exeter's record is great, too. But BG with wins over Merrimack, 35-0, 56-6 over Spalding, and the list goes on. It's a pop-up kick from Exeter. It's going to bounce once, and it's fielded there, running right to left across the field. The return man trying to find some room, and finally not down yet. He's at the 15, trying to get down to the 20.
We got a
Still
flag.
on his feet. A flag is down.
It's
sprinting downfield is Colin. Excuse me,
Mike Kelly.
Mike Kelly, and he's gone, but this is going to be called back.
It's going to be called back.
Most likely the flag, if you look at it, is way back at the 6-yard line. Mike Kelly.
What a run by Kelly.
Unbelievable.
Incredible run. But you know, once a running back or a return man runs around like that, the longer it gives his blockers a chance to make a mistake.
Right.
And that's what happened on this play because they weren't sure which direction he's going in, and they're caught blocking or moving the wrong way, and that's why that happens.
Well, Mike Kelly gets the legs warmed up, if nothing else, as this spectacular return for a touchdown is going to come all the way back.
It's too bad, John, because I'll tell you what, that takes him out of probably the next couple of plays because he's too winded.
It looks like they're going to mark it maybe from the 6 to the 3.
Yeah, half the distance to the goal. They
haven't actually walked it off yet.
That's where the block was.
That's what they're going to do. They're going to spot this ball at the 3-yard line.
So
First and 10.
Tough start for Guertin.
Wow, it's only a 97-yard difference there on the penalty.
And Kelly, you got to credit him with a 96-yard, 94-yard kickoff return for a TD that is called back. Although it looks like he ran about 250 yards.
The handoff is straight up the middle, and there's not much there. Just get past the 5-yard line for a gain of maybe 3 on the play.
Adam Hall on the carry, John.
Adam Hall gets up off the pile.
You know what the Exeter strategy is going to be tonight is what you just saw Adam Hall do, run the ball. They are going to try the best way they can to keep the ball out of the hands of the Guertin offense. And the way to do that is to control the football yourself offensively and hold on to it for a while. They're going to try to win the clock, the game of the clock.
It's 2nd down and 7. Ball is on the 7. It's 2nd and 6. Another carry up the middle. Some body language looked like the ball might have come loose momentarily.
Nick Phillips, I think, on the carry.
And Phillips with his first carry of the night, the fullback, stopped short of the 1st down, so it's going to bring up 3rd down and still, according to our clock, 6 yards to go for the 1st down. 4 yards to go. It's a gain of 2 for Phillips on the play. 3rd and 4, key play here very early. The first offensive possession for either team. Bishop Guertin starting deep in their own end. John Collins with Tom King. Ryan Richer is down on the field and will be filing reports throughout this game. Mike Kelly spurts down the right sideline. He's to the 40, to the 50, and there's nobody in front of him.
No,
Mike Kelly with his second length of the field sprint tonight. And he is caught at the last second, but he gets a touchdown. He was out of gas, Tom King, but Mike Kelly, 6 points. BG's on the board first.
Fastest athlete I've ever seen. Fastest athlete I have ever seen on the high school level. I haven't seen anybody do that. John, what did we just,
a lot of games,
what did we just see? We saw him run 94 yards, okay? And then we saw him run, let's see, where was the line of scrimmage? I think it was at the 8-yard line, 92 yards. 186 yards in about, what, 3 minutes?
Yeah. You know what? He almost didn't make the last yard.
He
that was
almost
the
didn't
longest
make the
yard.
turn. He almost didn't make the turn.
The conversion is good. It's a 7-0 Bishop Guertin lead with 10:08 remaining in the first quarter. How about that, Mike Kelly? Tremendous.
Just unbelievable. 91 yards officially. Just incredible.
Wow, we were looking, would they make the first down? They did a lot more than that with the speedy legs of Mike Kelly. That was a stunning comment to say that out of all those years, all those games, all those players.
Fastest I've seen.
Wow. So we will have a kickoff. BG now going back to Exeter. Congratulations to South, who beat Manchester Memorial Friday night. So it will be Exeter's 1st and 10 from their own 18.
Audio problems that we had here. We apologize for that. We're trying to get that straightened out right now. 1st and 10 for the Blue Hawks, 19-yard line. Kickoff coverage is the key. That's one weakness that Guertin has had all year, John. I imagine on special teams they're going to have most, if not all, of their starters on that unit.
Tyler Holdsworth, the quarterback, handing off. It's a huge gain on 1st down. Good finishing hit there by Matthew Bain, number 20 for BG, but it was number 35, Zach Kelleher on the run, which was good for a 1st down or close to it. Will we measure? Officials timeout down on the field. And they will bring out the chains. The officials.
Well, that's the problem you have with Exeter is a kid like Keller who's been in the system for a while, and he's able, John, the one thing that they're able to do, Exeter, is disguise who has the ball. And Guertin's defense because of its speed, often can overrun the play and miss who has the football, run right by them in the backfield, and boom, off they go, because they have to recognize almost instantly who has the football.
It's like a phalanx formation. You have to figure out who has the ball in a crowd of Blue Hawks.
And that really takes advantage of an aggressive defense, which Guertin has. So what Guertin has to do is maybe a little bit cut back on the aggression and stay in lanes and stay in spots, and rather read and react instead of move up the field at certain times. And that's what the Guertin defense is going to be forced to have to learn how to do. I mean, they had a week of practice, so they know what they need to do. But that to me is pretty much what is necessary for Guertin to really kind of stop Exeter from being able to run the ball.
So we'll see if they can read and react as opposed to run and react. Holsworth hands it off.
They did there.
A good read there by the linebacking core and the defensive line.
Yeah, that was Nick Phillips, John, who went right in and made the stop. I believe it was Kelleher again.
Also in on the stop, Kyle Carrasca, number 9 for Bishop Guertin. And Tom Barilli, number 5.
Still didn't stop Kelleher from getting a first down, though, as he got a yard.
Got what he needed.
Just barely beyond the 28, so it's 1st and 10 Exeter from the 28-yard line.
The referee for today's game, Phil McCarthy. The umpire is Jeff Giussette. Linesman Tim Begley. Line judge Jeff Rosen. And the back judge Rick Parslow. Another handoff up the middle. And not too much there. The ball carrier there was number 40, Colton Schricker.
You're going to have your job cut out for you tonight, John, because you're going to have to identify who the ball carrier is, too.
Yeah,
it's not going to be easy.
It's not exactly the spread offense
that
we've had here.
It sure isn't.
In past games this year.
It sure isn't.
Saying earlier, congratulations to South, who beat Manchester Memorial last night 38-7 to close out their regular season at 3-5, 5-5 overall. Keith Farkas, 4 touchdown passes for South, who scored 31 of their 38 points in the second quarter. So they go out on a positive note, but they do not make the playoffs in their defending season. Good run and pass and catch play by the Blue Hawks. Holsworth hitting Ben Callahan, who did a down and out to the right side. We do have down on the field today with a microphone and a headset, Ryan Richer, along with myself, John Collins, and Tom King, bringing you tonight's game.
Ryan's got the tough job. He's got to stay out in the cold.
Yeah, he does. We just have the window open a crack, but he's down there in the elements, so we'll be throwing it down to him when we get the signal.
Dead ball, personal foul against the Cardinals.
You saw the foul is called. It's unclear what that was for.
Might have been a hit after he got out of bounds. I'm not sure. Pass was way up to the 39-yard line. So
that will take it into BG territory for the first time tonight.
Tack it on.
So this is not a Mike Kelly run the length of the field sort of a drive, but it is so far very productive for Exeter.
Exeter will take the points whatever way they can get it, but they would prefer a non-Mike Kelly type of drive. They don't want to score instantly and give the ball right back to Guertin.
3 running backs and almost a collision between Holsworth, and then the rest of the BG team finishes off the ball carrier, who was Justin Marston, who was bumping shoulders with his quarterback, Tyler Holsworth, before a flood of BG defenders came through the middle and knocked him backwards for a loss on the play. Walter Kell leading the charge for Bishop Guertin. 2nd down and 11 for the Blue Hawks with the ball on the BG 47-yard line. Bishop Guertin, of course, coming into this at 7-0 in the division, 8-0 overall. Holsworth handoff up the middle. Heavy hits and driven back once again was the ball carrier. Brian Dunn, it appeared to be number 20 on that play?
Yeah,
31, I'm sorry. Jason Monroe on the carry for the Blue Hawks. It's going to be 3rd and long. They have had 1 pass completion tonight, has Exeter. The go-to guy in that case was number 5, Ben Callahan, the 6'2" running back. There's a lot of running backs on the roster for Exeter. You'll see.
Well, that's their name. That's if you see a lot of running backs on Exeter's roster, that's what Bill Ball wants. That means that They're a running team first.
3 of those backs are split wide to the right, 1 in the slot. Rolling Holsworth's got pressure, and he's down. Terrific job getting into the backfield, fighting off the block, and making the sack by Nick Solano. Number 52 for BG, a huge play.
Now, we saw Solano last week. He's just an incredible player. I mean, Guertin was running from both sides. They had penetration from both sides, and it was a matter of time before they got to him.
Flag flies as the punt flies. It was kicked by Ben Callahan. It is off the fingertips of Kelly out of bounds. It'll still be BG's ball.
Might have been offsides on Guertin.
Whistles are blowing here.
Or maybe procedure.
Which would not be enough to...
Yeah, it's against Exeter.
It's against Exeter.
Yeah, I just saw a Cardinal clap.
Tony Johnson might want Exeter to punt this one again.
Scott St. Lawrence was clapping. So, yeah, I would, if I were them. But you know what? Exeter's not going to be dumb. I mean, they're going to punt the ball away from Mike Kelly. They're not going to put the ball in Baines or Kelly's hands. But if I were Guertin, I would definitely want Exeter to punt this ball again.
We'll see what the decision here is in a moment. We have our fine camera crew again working for Nashua's ETV. Right next to me, Mike James handling the production. And also down on the field, Jim McLean. Up top, we have Tim O'Neill. And we are pleased to bring you this final regular season game between these 2 elite teams in New Hampshire's Division II football. Exeter on the left of your screen and the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, who really crushed their opponents this season. A terrific season.
But none of the teams they played were as good as this team.
They're right, and they were definitely looking forward to this one. They had this one circled on the schedule at the beginning of the season, Tom. I was about to say that Bishop Guertin's season is not a successful season unless, like certain teams in a certain team in Major League Baseball, if they win it all, and then it's a successful season. And I can't believe I had to bring it up here early in the game.
I've been too busy today, John, to even think about it.
Well, congratulations.
I didn't do anything. Don't look at me.
Well, I mean, you're right.
I just think you're a ball player. I mean, you played in the over 30 leagues and everything else, and I thought that Joe Girardi was playing with fire when he decided to go with only 3 pitchers in the playoffs, 3 starting pitchers, and have everybody go on short rest. It worked because he figured he probably had the bats to back it up. Yeah. And he did. It was amazing. It's amazing to me how teams can go through a regular season and win so many games, and then you get to the playoffs, and both the Phillies and the Yankees just didn't seem to have enough starting pitching to get through a series. For the Phillies to start Pedro Martinez, who they just picked up in mid-August.
Oh, wow.
Twice. 3 times in the playoffs and twice in the World Series. What does that tell you about your starting rotation going into the playoffs?
I just want to point out whether we have timeout on the field.
It's the difference between playoff baseball and regular season baseball.
We're midway through the first quarter as Tom and I talk baseball here at Stellos Stadium. 7-0, BG leads Exeter. This is their first possession. They're trying to drive down and get the equalizer, but they had a punt.
They're going to punt.
Yeah, and there was an offside, so they're going to have to punt again. But how many World Series titles is this in your lifetime? I was so looking forward to quizzing you on this.
Well, let's see the punt and the change of possession first, and then I'll answer that.
Not many people know, first of all, how long your lifetime has been. I thought that was funny.
Not too many.
The big 5-0 for Tom this year. There's the punt by Callahan. It's straight up in the air. Fair catch is called for, and it's off the fingertips, and maybe he shouldn't have asked them to punt it again. Let's see the indication by the officials.
It's
BG's ball.
Bain recovered his own muff to 39. Let's see, how many titles? 77, 78.
There's 2.
And that was it until
now you were too young to remember.
I'd say 7.
You were too young to remember.
Wasn't a
61
fan,
and 62.
Wasn't a fan until 70.
Okay.
Until 1970. Wasn't a fan.
Oh, we don't count when you're like 1 and 2 years old?
No, I don't
All
count
right.
any of that.
7 is right.
So I'd say 7.
7 is right. 77, 78, 96, 98, 99, 2000, 2009.
Yeah.
I've only got 2. There's an imbalance there.
2 more than I wanted you to have. This is going to be a touchdown. Watch this.
Running down the right sideline before he's finally knocked out of bounds at the 40 was Stephen Cupa, the quarterback keeper for BG. Terrific play for BG. The first down from scrimmage on their second possession is a huge gainer for Cupa, the quarterback.
First down at the Exeter 39.
First down at the Exeter 39. Just under 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. BG trying to add to their 7-0 lead. John Collins with Tom King, Ryan Richard down on the field. You're watching Nashua's ETV. Huge crowd on hand here in the final regular season game to decide home field advantage through the playoffs. The pitch to Kelly, trying to get outside, cuts it up, and he's hit by 3 Blue Hawks and driven to the turf. Kelly, for the first time tonight, gets stopped.
Yeah, that time Kelly ran out of real estate, but that play took too long to develop.
Exactly.
You know, and Exeter defended it very well, to the point where, you know, there just isn't much you can do.
Kelly's speed and all the Wildcat talk in the NFL, Tony Johnson must have been tempted to throw that kind of a play in there, the direct snap.
You know, that's the one thing. You know, that's the one of the great assistants is looking right at you as you said that. Wondering if you were watching practice one day. Oh. That's the one thing. I mean, these teams always come out with different wrinkles for each other that neither has seen all year long.
Handoff, big hole, gain of about 7 or 8.
Is that Hall or
Hall?
Kelly?
Close in the numbers there. It was
that
number
was Hall.
22.
Yeah, that was Hall. Hall is really, I thought, I did a story early in the year on how these teams were, how Guertin was using multiple running backs and trying to get a lot of work out of a lot of people. And Hall has taken over the every down back job, I think.
The handoff is to, looks like Adam Hall again from the I-back position, and he got the first down. Only needed a yard.
If they need tough yards, they go to Phillips or Hall. But they like Hall to get into a rhythm. If he carries the ball 15 times a game, then he's done his job.
So it is 1st and 10 for BG. 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. The ball is placed on the 27-yard line of Exeter. BG quickly up to the line of scrimmage. A 3-man backfield, holding on to it. Cupa's going to run to the left, and he is pulled out of bounds, but not after another big gainer on first down out around the 15-yard line. That would make it a gain of about 12 or 13 yards. Another first down for BG on the quarterback keeper on the option.
Well, that's Cupa. That's the Cupa we've seen this year. He's learned how to run with the football. He's a good throwing quarterback, but it was running something that they needed to develop with him, and he gets 14 yards on that. And as an example, he's got 36 yards on 2 carries against a very good defense.
So Cupa up to the line of scrimmage. He's got 2 receivers split wide to the right, a fullback and an I-back who
nice
reverse
fake.
Sort of a
Nice
play.
fake.
Kelly down the left sideline. Good
He's
juke,
score.
and he is just driven out shy of the goal line, but Mike Kelly taking it right down to the doorstep. And BG threatening to go up here by 2 scores.
And a flag. I could hear the assistants next to us.
Hold.
Next to us go no, and they couldn't have been saying no because of the play. So, and the spot of the foul right at the 14-yard line. So,
replay first down.
Well, Kelly almost danced his way into the end zone, but it's a
we're told
question.
that was supposed to be a fake to Kelly, but, and which is a good call because everybody would expect Kelly to get the ball. But you know what?
So the assistants
they
were surprised that he ended up with the ball.
And
it's always a good idea.
And they get the penalty with a hold. Hey, if you can surprise your own coaching staff, then you got to be fooling the other team, right?
1st and 20. Ball set the 24-yard line. Need to get to the 4 for first down. Cupa being chased from behind, gets it off to Hall, and he's tackled on a terrific diving, saving tackle by Zach Kelleher, the 2-way player for the Exeter Blue Hawks. Comes up big.
Adam Hall's got speed, but he doesn't have lateral speed like Kelly does. Kelly could turn that corner. Hall doesn't quite have that burst of the Jets to be able to do that. Once he gets in the open field, he can go. But he can't turn the corner as quickly as Kelly can.
And, of course, Kelleher, one of the fastest players on this unbeaten Exeter team. So he's going to make some plays.
We've seen Zach Kelleher before.
It's 3:30 to go in the first quarter. Shotgun Cupa. Plenty of time. He's all by himself for all day. Throws it in a crowd. It's incomplete. Good coverage in the backfield by Exeter. It really didn't appear to be. Scott St.
Lawrence was waving, but when he's out there in the middle of the field waving, basically he's a magnet for the Exeter defenders who are coming right to him.
By the time he waves, it's too late.
And I think Cupa, rather than throw the ball high, threw that ball down low in the dirt to try to just basically throw it away.
It's a great target at 6'4", but he had too much company there.
All right, John, you're the offensive coordinator. What do you want to do on this play?
I want to throw to the left corner on a Kelly flag route. But here's what Cupa comes up here. He's going to look back. He's going to look to down the middle, and he throws it up for grabs. It is incomplete. It was Kelleher down there on the coverage. And let's see who that was intended for. I believe it was number... Was that Ryan Fitzpatrick?
I think it was Fitzpatrick.
Yes, Ryan Fitzpatrick, number 12.
But the thing is Kelly, everybody expected the ball to go to Kelly. Cooper looked that way, then looked the other way, but good pressure defense on the part of Exeter.
Well, it's not out of the question a completion here, Tom. Given the amount of time that Cooper got on the couple of pass plays there, the pass protection is tremendous by the offensive line. And Tony Johnson wants to discuss this next play with his staff.
Yeah, I think in high school football, anytime you've got a timeout or you've got a fourth down deep in somebody's territory, you're going to go for it. There's always a timeout and a discussion.
Well, here.
Look at this right here with Johnson and Cooper. You know, what Tony's telling you is you've got to make your reads, and you can't hang the ball up. So what he's telling him is these are your reads on this next play. Check one, check two. Just find the open guy and get rid of it quickly.
And he's talking to looks like the center for BG as well. The offensive line, that's Nick Cook, the center for BG that Tony went out to have a word with too. The offensive line are going to be called upon to make some blocks here if they're going to get a 20-yard pass play off. So from knocking on the door with the Mike Kelly run that was called back for holding, they have been driven back by a penalty to this situation where they're 4th and 20 with the ball on the 24 and no guarantee whatsoever that they'll be able to go up 2 scores. Exeter's defense has mounted a huge wall here all of a sudden early in this game. 3 minutes to go in the first quarter.
Well, the tough call was the hold, was the penalty.
Cooper dropping back. He's going to look down to the left side. It's a
too high.
Bullet, but it's off the fingertips of the intended receiver, and it's Exeter's ball on down.
He had Kelly in the crowd, but he overthrew him. And that's tough, because if you're playing Exeter, it's going to be a dogfight. It's not going to be a 48-0 game. Although last year it was a rout because Guertin just proved to be a little bit too much down the stretch. But
45-9 to be exact. The regular season result last year, BG beat Exeter.
If you're Guertin, you've got to score when you're inside the 20-yard line. You've got to do it against Exeter because those opportunities are going to come back to haunt. Those missed opportunities could come back to haunt you.
Tyler Holsworth, the quarterback again for Exeter. He turns around and hands it off, and being swallowed up shortly after receiving the handoff was Ben Callahan, who is a running back and a punter.
Another familiar name with his Blue Hawks.
1
yard gain. So, Tom, you covered last year when BG won 45-9 over Exeter, and then in the championship game, big difference, 14-7. BG squeaked it out to take the title.
That's what happens when you get into a playoff situation or see a team for the second time. It's almost never the same type of game, especially when you've got 2 really good teams.
Up the middle and getting loose, and that was a case where we got fooled a bit on the camera end of it because the ball was not in the quarterback's hands as some of the BG defenders thought it was in the fullback's hands up the middle for a huge gainer.
Number 22, Donnie Denman.
And finally, I get the name of that truck, Donnie Denman, number 22, who went right up the middle, the senior for the Blue Hawks with a huge gainer. That was one of those misdirection, who's got the ball type of plays, and BG cashes in. They're right near midfield now, 1st and 10 at the 48.
There's also the case of missed tackles.
Up the middle, trying to drive with the legs before he is driven back, was number 40, Colton Schricker on the carry for Exeter.
He squirted through the line on that run, and there were hands grabbing him. So just a simple case of missed tackles, I think, on that play. Misdirections, yes, your best tacklers were headed the other way, but, John, at the same point in time, you had people in position to make the play, and they weren't able to do it.
Wow, this is not the spread offense. I'll say that again. They're almost out of time. It's only 7-0 here, and the clock continues to roll because of the number of running plays that we have had. Handoff goes just for about a yard, maybe. And do we have the ball this time, or who had the ball?
I believe it was 5.
Number 5. Well, I hardly saw it. I guess he put it down after the tackle. Callahan on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 8 with 1 minute to go here. Clock running. Ball is on the midline, the 50-yard line stripe. This game featuring the top offense in Division II. BG averaging 44 points a game against the top defense. Exeter allowing 39 points total in 8 games.
There's a screen to the left. That could have been almost a trap.
It looked like it bounced, but the officials let it go, and it is a short gain past the original line of scrimmage. Tyler Mason, number 7, with the reception that we questioned whether it hit the ground or not. Apparently the officials who were much closer to it than we were said it was a fingertip grab, and it was good. So the clock is going to roll down. This might be the last play of the second quarter. The high punt. Kelly tries to get it, and he drops it. And
that's a mistake. That's another
looks like
mistake.
Exeter's football.
Sure does.
At the bottom of that pile. Let's see the official's indication.
Guertin.
It's BG's
How
ball.
did that happen?
It's Mike Kelly's
athletic
ability.
It's almost time now for Guertin to just step back and let the ball bounce almost, the way they're not catching the punts.
Right, and I don't know if there's wind involved, but that's the second fair catch that's gone awry. There is 8.6 seconds to go.
I think there's a little bit of anxiety. I mean, I think there's in Kelly and Bain's case, it's I want to make another big play and I want to do it right away.
Right.
Take their eye off the ball. They take us half a step before they catch the football. What happens? That's a muff.
Right, the same thing on a pass reception or a punt. If you take your eye off the ball at the last second, bad things can happen. 8.6 seconds to go in the first quarter. John Collins with Tom King. We'll be throwing it down to Ryan Richer at the break of the first quarter to find out about Ryan's adventures down on the field. This could be a quarter-ending score, though, if BG's ball carrier Adam Hall gets down to the 15-yard line. Adam Hall from his own 17-yard line runs it down almost the length of the field to the 12.
It's going to come back again. We got another flag.
There's more.
This is unbelievable, boy. I'll tell you,
they have on the field.
They have made mistake after mistake.
You don't want to add up the yards that they have lost on penalties tonight.
Not the yards they've lost, but they've got 4 big penalties now for 40 yards.
I mean, I'll just throw out that
for 50 yards. 4 penalties for 50 yards.
It was a 97-yard kickoff return for touchdown by Kelly to begin the game that was called back. This one, another huge gainer, is going to be negated, and that is going to end the first quarter. Right there, instead of being what looked like a 70-yard gain, is going to come back and become a loss on the play by way of the penalty.
Now the officials definitely are looking for it. You don't make that many calls unless you've got a lineman who is specifically feeling that he's going to have a trend and make that kind of call. I mean, I'm not saying they're doing it unfairly. I mean, they are really, really watching it closely tonight.
5-man crew down there.
I think when you get a big game, and we saw this a couple of years ago in the championship game, I think when you get a big football game between 2 very good teams, I think the officials feel that they have to have a very fair outcome. And in doing that and in thinking that, they tend to over-officiate.
You've seen a lot of games, Tom,
and let
so
call and marginal calls are going to be called. And I think that happens an awful lot in high school football.
The theory is you could call holding on every play?
I think so, yeah. I think that you could. You know, and they are going to look for it.
It is a holding call, so apparently the quarter cannot end on a penalty.
This is an offensive penalty.
This is called an untimed down. The pitch to Kelly. Ball in the speedy Kelly's hands to end the first quarter, and he's got no real estate to roam, so he'll walk out of bounds. But even at that rate, a slow rate for Mike Kelly, it's a first down. He just saunters for 15, and
it's amazing. You know, you'd be sitting in the chair and you'll ask Mike Kelly, can you get me a Pepsi? And the Pepsi's already there before you ask.
It's like that ESPN commercial?
Right, yeah,
Who was
exactly.
That
I don't know, but that's just it.
Ryan Richer is down on the field for Nashua's ETV. He's taken in this first quarter. BG leads 7-0. Ryan, what do you got?
Not much right now. It's just been a big physical game between both teams. You can see that on the field. Hard hitting. And the thing that you can really notice is Exeter is having a tough time stopping this Bishop Guertin Russian attack, as the speed seems to be hurting the Exeter Blue Hawk defense right now. But Tony Johnson of Bishop Guertin is telling his players to make sure that a night like this, a cold night, make sure they hydrate. You can see from Mike Kelly after his long runs that he's been a little dehydrated. He's missed a couple of plays. Right now, it's been a hard-hitting game here on the sidelines. Now back to you guys in the booth. What's that, guys? Oh, Coach Tony Johnson is telling his team to think when you're making plays, because there's been a lot of big plays that have been hurting this Bishop Guertin team, and you know it's cost this team right now from points being put on the board.
Thank you, Ryan Richer. Excellent job. It's a new quarter now, second quarter of play. John Collins, Tom King, and as you heard, Ryan is down on the field. We have Mike Janes, Tim O'Neill, and Jim McLean on our camera crew. And this is an exciting Division II matchup between the unbeaten Bishop Guertin Cardinals and the unbeaten Exeter Blue Hawks. So whoever wins this game will have home field advantage through the playoffs. Kelly sprinting down. That's Cooper, the quarterback keeper. Excuse me, he is way down the left sideline and nearly broke it before he was driven out of bounds.
And they're going to get some extra,
flag.
yeah, they're going to get some extra yardage because he was hit out of bounds.
Well out of bounds, apparently a step out of bounds. Cooper took a hit. He had already conceded that he was going to run out of bounds, I think, and the Exeter Blue Hawk defender couldn't stop himself from delivering the blow, which drew the flag that you're seeing the referee, Phil McCarthy, indicate here against the Blue Hawks. So tack that onto a terrific run by Cooper.
That was a 33-yard run by Cooper.
These two teams have met in each of the past 4 Division II championship games. Bishop Guertin won in 2005, 2006, and 2008. 2007 was Exeter's year. The winner of this game will face Alvern next week on their home turf.
On the winner's home turf.
On the winner's home turf of this game tonight, the top 1 and 2 seeds are BG and Exeter. They just have to determine the order of finish. Dragged down from behind. Again, Kelly getting hit in the head there late. That could have been called.
That could have been called,
and
too.
he is hurt, it looks like.
I think he's just a little dinged
Or
after he gets hit
shaken up.
like that. You know, Mike Kelly is not.
You know, he's woozy right now.
Yeah, he
Tom.
is
That's
a little
not
woozy
good.
because he took a shot in the head. But Mike Kelly is not used to running in the interior.
Right.
As we watch him come off the field.
That could have been called. I just thought it was a little late with the helmet.
I agree. And it defies my premise that they're watching everything, because they obviously weren't watching that.
Just underway in the second quarter. BG trying to add to their 7-0 lead. This is Hall, and he is wrapped up and taken down.
Just what a great run by a Hall, because there wasn't much room there, John. And he got great offensive push. But what Hall did was he spun to his side and got his body in position where it wasn't, going to get hit head on. He spun through that hole.
He got 3 or 4 extra
forward.
because of that.
Exactly. Great run.
And that makes it, instead of a 1st and 8 or 9, it's 1st and 5. A 2nd and 5, I believe. No, it's actually 1st down. Excuse me. 1st and 10 to go for BG. That was a 1st down run by Adam Hall. Long snap count by Cupid. He hands up. Hall's got untouched. He's to the 3, the 2, he's in. Adam Hall, touchdown, spinning at the end to finish it off. And it is a 13-0 BG lead with the extra point kick try coming.
Right, sometimes you're better off lucky than good. That muff punt that it looked like Exeter had, and the Cardinals recover, and that is just huge, and Guertin takes advantage of it. They get the long run from Koopa, and they get a run from Kelly, and boom, they're off to the races.
And boom, the extra point is through by number 11, Ryan Card, the kicker for BG. He's good on 2 extra point tries tonight. It's a 14-0 BG lead over Exeter. Alvern will be playing the winner of this game tonight. Alvern ended a 3-game losing streak by beating Timberlane 32-7 last night. So Alvern's got the number 4 seed. The number 3 seed in Division II is Winnicott.
And that was a team, John, that didn't look like they were going to make the playoffs a month ago. But you know what? They beat Alvern on the road, and that was a huge win. And that really put them in position where they could get into the playoffs, and they took advantage of it. And I mean, they had the talent to do it. I predicted them at the beginning of the season as one of the playoff teams. To the team that I thought would be in the playoffs and isn't is Timberlane, much because of what happened last night, and also because of the fact that they didn't have their top running back, Derek Fury, for that last game.
End-over-end kick, bounces once. It's fielded cleanly by Exeter's return man, number 35. And that is Zach Kelleher, but he was hit very quickly by the BG coverage squad, and not much of a return. It'll be 1st and 10 on their own 21 for the Exeter Blue Hawks, trailing 14-0. So we'll see what happens here. I do want to talk to you, Tom, about that shocker in Salem last night, where the Salem Blue Devils, who were dreaming of a perfect season, were upset by Central. And not only were they upset, ball pops loose and it's on the turf, and it looks like BG gets it back. And yes, coming up with it is number 32, Nicholas Carluccio. It's BG's ball, trying to add now to their 2-score lead. A big mistake by the Blue Hawks.
Wow. All that maneuvering cost Exeter on that time. All that misdirection, because what happened? Somebody bumped in to the quarterback. Somebody bumped into Holdsworth, and he dropped the ball. And then Bishop Guertin, ever opportunist Carluccio, Nick Carluccio, just dove on it and picks it up, recovers the fumble.
So the BG offense hustles out onto the field, and we had the left
That'd be a delay game
moving there.
Yeah, delay game or illegal procedure.
And
False start. Cardinals, 5-yard penalty.
call it a false start.
Remain first down.
So it'll be 1st and 15, and they will move the ball back to the 18-yard line now.
And they cannot afford.
This is what happened the last time they knocked on the door.
We saw what happened.
They ended up with a 4th and 24.
We saw what happened when you turn the ball over against Guertin. They make you pay.
Cupa, handoff, Hall, untouched,
like
left
that,
sideline.
like that.
And untouched all the way into
Like
the
that.
end zone.
Hall just great blocking, cuts to his left, and he's got that burst. He's got that straight ahead burst, and you saw it there. Wide open spaces.
Wow, they made that look a little bit too easy for Exeter's liking. Coming off of that turnover, BG makes the Blue Hawks pay immediately, 20-0. The Cardinals ahead of the Blue Hawks here with 10:20 to go in the half, the first half of play. The hold is down, the kick is up, and Ryan Card has his 3rd extra point of the evening. 21-0, BG over Exeter. So it looks like the way, if the game continues in this manner, a BG victory will create an Exeter Winnacunnet all Seacoast matchup in the semifinals next week, while BG would be hosting.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but you're right. It certainly looks that way.
Yeah, you're right. I shouldn't.
It certainly looks that way.
Yeah.
But
but I want to talk to you about Central and Salem.
Well, you mentioned that, and
wow, 45.
Salem had. I wasn't there, so I don't know what happened, and I haven't really looked at any accounts of it. Salem had only one thing to play for: that unbeaten Division I season. So I don't know how they did in any non-league games that they played.
On their home turf last night, they lost to the Little Green, 45-7.
Central had to win to get in.
They did.
They had to win to get in.
They've had a playoff mindset for 4 weeks.
If you pit a team in that situation like that, you may not see the score disparity, but you're going to, watch out for this.
Big run back here by Exeter to Zach Kelleher about the 34-yard line.
You are going to see that type of situation arise, especially if you're Jack Gaddy, and all of a sudden you're noticing that, you've got, you've got a situation where you don't have anything left to play for, and you're already down 3 touchdowns.
Because
what are you going to do?
Remain the top
You're
seed.
going to get your guys out of that game.
Yeah, they remain the top seed even with the loss. There's a short gain for Kelleher right there.
I'll tell you, the Guertin defense is really setting the tone, because they are now. They are, after a quarter of playing this offense, they are identifying where that ball is as Kelleher loses a yard.
Yeah.
You know, he had 9 yards on his first carry. No one's, other than a 24-yard run by Denman, you know, that Exeter really hasn't had much of an offense.
Tyler Holsworth deep under center getting the snap. He turns around and hands it off to who? Your guess is as good as mine. BG seems to have tackled everybody just
I
in
tell
case.
you, if it was Holsworth, if he kept the ball, he would have had a touchdown.
It looks like he was the only one that was untouched. Everybody else got tackled.
I think Exeter's going to have to do that. I think what they've got to do is they've gone to the well of the running backs often enough. Holdsworth proved to me early in the year and proved to his coach Bill Ball that he could run with the football. And did so, you know, en route to a touchdown against Alvern early in the year. And I think that that's something that they need to go back to and try to get Holdsworth the ball and have him run wide on a misdirection and see if he can turn the corner and run.
In motion is Kelleher. Rolling the pass is Holsworth. It's complete. A ball pops like a Pop-Tart, and it's intercepted by BG.
Goodness.
What a terrific play and a spectacular turnover. Walter Kell was Johnny on the spot to make the interception for BG. And we have a flag on the field.
Well, let's see if they call interference. I don't see how they could. The ball hit his hands, and then it was a legitimate hit. I have a hard time seeing that there was any kind of a penalty on that play.
It's a quick conference, and the referee, Phil McCarthy, says push in the back against defense.
Pre or post interception? That's the question.
Right. If it's a block in the back to protect the interceptor, it's still BG's ball. If it's a push in the back before the catch, it would be Exeter's ball.
And of course, we don't have the microphone on any official, so we don't know what the call is going to be.
It looks like the offense.
Yes, it's a change in possession, so the penalty comes after the interception.
Right. And there you go. So it is a interception and a penalty on the attempted return. And BG with another turnover, taking the ball away from Exeter the hard way on what looked like a nice pass and catch. The defense for BG making the receiver pay the price, and Walter Kell reaped the benefits. Cupa under center. He's going to hand it off to Adam Hall. Going left, breaks one tackle and 2 tackles before he's downed right near the 50-yard line. A big gain on first down for Adam Hall.
Like I said, a true running back's type of carry, you know, where he bounces off a tackle, then slides into the hole, doesn't try to get a situation where he's going to get head on. And we got Ryan Richard down on the field.
We'll throw it down to Ryan Richard down on the field.
Hey guys, just got back from the Exeter sideline, and right now the mood for the Blue Hawks is disbelief right now. They can't believe that they're trailing by 21-0 right now, and the big plays have hurt them, and head coach Bill Ball is telling his team to play smarter and try to avoid the mistakes and wrap up on defense. Right now they're having a tough time doing that as the Cardinals keep on making big plays. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, Ryan. That counts as a big play right there, Tom. The keeper looked like a pass play by Cupa, but he tucked it under his arm and he got a first down.
Well, he was looking downfield, John. I think he saw Mike Kelly down the middle of the field, but he thought Kelly was probably covered and decided to take off with it on his own, and he gets 7 yards out of it.
Clock is running because of the running play. 7:45 to go in the first half.
76 yards on the ground already.
76 for Cupa, the quarterback.
4 carries.
Under center, calling the signals. And he'll hand it off to Hall, who is stuffed. No, he bounces off the would-be tacklers and makes another yard or 2.
Now it gets something out of nothing, maybe a little bit of a yard. Gets maybe down to just beyond the 44 to the 43-yard line.
They will give him a yard. It's 2nd and 9. Ball's at the 44 of Exeter. 7:20 to go in the first half. BG is leading the Blue Hawks 21-0. We're in the final regular season game. Whoever wins this will end up the top seed in New Hampshire's Division II, and will have home field advantage through the playoffs, which are only 2 rounds in New Hampshire High School Football Division II, because 4 teams make the playoffs. They have a semifinal and a final 2 weeks from this weekend. BG hoping to host that. The handoff is to number 5, and just happening to be in the right spot.
Tommy Barilli, who just basically did good penetration by the Exeter defense as they just jumped that line. They read the play right away.
Ben Ward, who is a sophomore defensive lineman, stuffed the running play. He was in just the right spot to make the tackle. So it's going to be 3rd and 11 BG has not thrown the ball too much tonight, but this might be one of the downs where they will do it. They have 2 receivers split wide to the left and right with 1 man in the backfield, and he'll do some blocking. That's Phillips in the backfield. It's a dart, and it's short of the first down. It is complete. So good, strong, accurate throw right there. Ryan Fitzpatrick made sure of the catch. Now it's going to be 4th and short, 4th and 3. 6 minutes to go in the first half. And too far to do the field goal, too close to punt it. BG will go for it. Pretty easy call here for Tony Johnson.
Kelly?
Why not?
That's exactly it.
Cupa calling the signal.
Although he's not in the backfield.
The handoff is to Hall. No, Cupa has it. He tucks it under his arm, and he's got a first down and more to the 30. He is wrapped up and pulled out of bounds to the 27-yard line. The tackle made by Brian Dunn, number 20, to save a touchdown. But Cupa made that look easy once again for BG picking up the first down.
If you're Exeter, you just give up 14 yards to Steve Cupa.
Steve Cupa.
You've got to wonder, you know, on a 4th down play, you've got to wonder, geez, is it going to be our night or not? You know, that is a real tough 4th down play to give up. Wide open spaces. Exeter's getting caught, John. They're getting caught in the interior, and they're leaving people out of position, and there's room for Guertin to run the ball.
Hall up the middle for a good 4 or 5. Cupa, great read on that 4th down run.
That's just it. You know, you talk about the team speed. Guertin reads plays very quickly on both sides of the ball. Their offensive players and their defensive players read very, very well. This is a very smart football team.
And a well-coached football team.
Yeah, you don't get a smart team unless you've got good coaching.
So it is 2nd and 6. Ball's at the 19. Clock running, 4:40 to go in the first half. BG trying to add to their 21-0 lead. The handoff to Hall, and he sneaks his way up to the 15-yard line. They needed to get to about the 13 for a first down, so it'll bring up 3rd and 2. For BG, and Exeter would love to come up with a big defensive stop here.
Well, this is, again, it's 4 down territory. I don't think there's any field goal attempt here with Guertin. They've got players who can get.
Exeter needs a turnover, Tom. BG's benefited from 2 of them. That's about the only thing that'll even up this game. Hall goes up the middle, and he is spinning his way to more success on the ground for BG. A first down for the Cardinals. Did he get inside the 10?
He is inside the 10. He's at the 7-yard line. It's actually barely the 6.
Makes it first
9
and goal.
yards. He has not had a negative play this evening.
He gets the ball and he hits the gap because of that.
I could have just jinxed him.
Nick Phillips up the middle, and he is burrowing his way forward toward the goal line. I think he got maybe 2 on that play.
Well, there's certain players that you know are going to get the football once Guertin or once some teams get inside the 10-yard line. For Alvern, it's Nick Goldsack. He's their red zone type running back, and we'll see that probably if things hold the way they are next week. But we didn't see Goldsack last week against Guertin. He was out with an injury. But for Guertin, it's Nick Phillips. He's the guy. He's
Cupa
the guy inside.
Calling the signals. Let's see if he gives it back to Phillips. No, he gives it to Hall this time. He's got big blockers up front, pushing his way toward the goal line. He's very close to it. No indication yet. They're going to mark this at the half-yard line, Tom, and it's 3rd and goal.
At the 1.
Exeter
Well,
appears to be delaying the inevitable.
All you care about here is that you don't fumble the football, because you give Guertin 2 plays to get 1 yard. Vegas will take those odds any day of the week.
Here's Cube up at the line of scrimmage, the same formation as the last couple of plays. And he will hand it to Phillips, and Phillips is in. 2 steps forward, and Nick Phillips raises the football in triumph. It is a 27-0 Cardinals lead over the Blue Hawks with 2:24 to go in the first half.
That's just great running and great blocking up front by that offensive line. You know, they've got some big guys on that line. Kana is one of them. He is just a huge...
Yeah, they deserve credit. You know, we don't say their names enough.
Brett Kana, 6'4", 276 pounds.
You know, this BG line, if you go back 30 years in the NFL, They're
That's
bigger.
what they, yeah, I know.
I mean,
but you know, the Cardinals, they really don't think they're that big. You know, they really don't. You know, you talk to Nick Phillips, he'll say, you know, people don't respect our size. I think there's more on defense than
I
it is on
respect
offense.
this size.
I think there's more on defense than it is on offense.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I mean, I expect the sheer numbers on this team.
I
Look at the
interviewed
sideline.
Kana after a game a couple of weeks ago, and I was like, my shoulder was killing me. You know, I couldn't reach up high enough.
You know, I'm just glad if you look down at the sideline here in front of you on the camera, if these guys, if they didn't have a bus to take these guys to the game, the parking situation would be like
it's a plane.
Foxborough.
No, it's a plane.
Yeah, I mean, it's like there's a lot
Plane
of people
leaves
on
the
this
Nashua.
roster.
The plane leaves the Nashua Airport at about 4:30, 4:45, and lands
terrific, man.
lands at Stellos Stadium at 5 o'clock.
The participation in BG football is terrific. Look at that.
Well, there's 33, I think, some odd seniors on this team that you're not going to see out there next year. So.
Right. And who wouldn't want to play for Tony Johnson? I mean, the football education on top of a great
Well, what a year it's
private school education.
What a couple of years it has been for football in the city of Nashua. Congratulations to North, as they announced here at Stellos.
Yes.
They will be in the Division I semifinals, and they, you know, people think they beat Pinkerton today to get that home seed. They had it when Central won last night. They already had it, so they have the Division I number 2 seed, and they'll play a home game next weekend. So we could be busy next weekend. You never know what the schedule is going to be, but there'll be 2 games here at Stellos Stadium. Probably one on Friday night and one on Saturday afternoon.
So North finished the season 7-1.
Yeah, and they will play. They would play Pinkerton again, I believe. Yeah, they would play Pinkerton again.
They'll host them.
Yep, they'll host Pinkerton.
There's the handoff up the middle, and driven back. Zach Kelleher was the ball carrier. In on the tackle for BG, numbers 51 and 39. That would be Anthony Travellini and Walter Kell with the stuff for BG. It'll be 2nd and 10. 2 minutes to go.
A 9-yard run and a 24-yard run. The other runs are 1, -7, 1, 1, 0, 2, 1, -1, -1, -1.
Wow. Exeter coming into this game undefeated. It put up some big scores, but it's a different story for them tonight as Kelleher gets wrapped up and wrenched to the ground. No gain on the play. And I'm going to credit number 50 on the tackle for BG was Brett Kana. And also heard Mike Quinn was in on the tackle. Mike
134, there's a timeout on the field.
Timeout is on the field. And I wanted to mention what a heartbreak last night must have been for the Londonderry team, who are watching the number 1 seed, the unbeaten team, Salem, on their home field in the final regular season game. All Salem has to do is close it out and beat Central, and Londonderry's in the playoffs, and it didn't happen for them. Salem's loss was also Londonderry's loss last night, because Pinkerton became the 4th seed, regardless of their loss today to North in Derry. So there's your 4 Division I playoff teams. Salem, North, Pinkerton, and Central. Spectacular hit at the end of that is incomplete. Trying to sell the interception there was Walter Kell. And terrific hit on the intended receiver, Ben Callahan. 4th and 10 now. Exeter forced to punt in their own end. Nothing doing for Exeter's offense so far tonight through a half of this game. 1:28 to go in the first half. The punt is away. And it's a fair catch call for by Kelly. He bobbled it, but he hangs on at the 44-yard line. 1st and 10 for BG.
Okay, now you're BG. You content to walk into the locker room with not much? I don't think so. I think it's going to be Eric Cooper on his next series.
I was going to say, Tom, that they probably won't throw it. They'll probably just hand it to Kelly and see if he can set another track record on his way to the end zone on the ground. I mean, some of these handoffs that have led to yardage that Tom Brady would envy, him and Randy Moss. I mean, these runs that some of these Adam Hall and Cupa and Kelly have ripped off. They might just keep it on the ground here with 1:20 to go. But it's a quick hit pass. It's actually a lateral, and another pass down the field, wide open and overthrowing the intended receiver. A well-designed play right there. Cupa hitting Christopher Kujawski, and Kujawski goes down the field, and Kelly showing that blazing speed, but the ball was, what an arm on Kujawski, but he just launched it a little too far.
That's the question. How do you overthrow Mike Kelly? How do you overthrow him? He can run like the wind and catch up to anything.
Especially after a lateral.
You know what? He hesitated on that. I put that on Kelly a little bit. I watched him run, and I thought he hesitated when he saw the ball was...
Maybe he doubted his sophomore quarterback's
I thought he was so wide open, he thought the ball was just going to land.
Excuse me, he's a senior also.
I think Kelly was so wide open, he broke his pattern a little bit and stopped.
Cupa with all day is going to throw this one down the left sideline. It's Fitzpatrick, and he can't get it. It's actually a better chance for the Exeter defender.
That's Kujawski again.
Oh, Kujawski threw that.
Yeah, they like his arm.
Pass intended for Ryan Fitzpatrick is incomplete.
Covered a lot of real estate with that
play.
throw.
Boy, I'll tell you.
That was exciting.
If that play had been made to Kelly.
Now you wonder.
If you're Bill Ball, you just take the headset, you walk across the field, and you say, Tony Johnson, can I have your autograph? I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Why did you show that 2 weeks early? Why do you show it, you know?
It's a good point.
You got to coach against that now. If
good
you're
point.
Exeter.
Well, I'll tell you another play they showed last year in the first in the.
I'm sure Tony would say I got more where that came from.
Yeah, exactly.
108.
Bobbled snap.
And no gain as a result. It turns into a rugby scrum and no gain. 1 minute even as the clock continues to run toward the end of the first half.
Kujawski has problems with snaps. I've seen that. He has, as most quarterbacks who don't take a lot of snaps in a game have when they get into a game. And that's the first snap, the second snap you saw him take. He has problems with snaps.
So we will see a snap to the punter in this case.
You hate to give up the ball. Guertin might actually just let the clock run down, John. Don't know if they have any timeouts left. I don't think they do. And they may just let the clock run down, take the penalty, and go back and then kick the football.
Nick Pizzoka is back
there. They're going to hold it all the way and maybe take the 5 yards.
And there's the whistle.
Or if they had one timeout left, they'll take that timeout, and I think that's what they did. I didn't see a flag. So they let the play clock run all the way down to maybe 1 second, called their last timeout for the half with 18 seconds left, and then Tony Johnson's going to tell his punter to kick the ball away from somebody fast. So, but here's what they did last year.
Yeah.
Here's what they did. I mean, Andy Bayless we all know Andy Bayless and what a great quarterback he was. Running the football, he was okay throwing it. I think he really hadn't had much experience reading defenses to throw the football. So what they did to start the season, to start that game, first play, Steve Cupa is the starting quarterback at Exeter. Takes the snap, 3-step drop, boom, down the field, long bomb. I think it was either a long gain or a touchdown, one or the other. You know, just to throw them off a little bit. Now you can't do that in the playoffs when you see them again. Another reason that's a close game, 14-7.
And the punt is away by Pizzoka. It's a short punt. It's going to bounce.
By design, John.
Way.
By design, it's a short punt.
But it's a nice roll. Very nice roll. It's still alive down there at the 26-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for Exeter. And it won't be because there's 1 second left. They'll probably just take a knee. Exactly 1.0 seconds to go in the first half. 28-0. Exeter is leading. BG is leading Exeter 28-0. We are about to go to halftime. John Collins with Tom King up here in the booth. And Ryan Richer is on the sideline.
I think we'll get Ryan with Tony Johnson just before they go in the locker room, if possible.
Good get. If we can do it, we'll throw it right to Ryan as soon as this ball is snapped. And there it is, the end of the first half, 28-0. BG leads Exeter. Ryan Richards down on the field.
Tony Johnson.
Go ahead, Ryan.
Hey, Coach, after a slow first quarter, only scored 7 points, your team has started pouring on in the second quarter. Now you have 28-0. Talk about your team's performance so far in this game.
Well, we've been doing a pretty good job. I mean, we shot ourselves in the foot a couple of times with some penalties, and that hurt us, but we kept our composure. The kids doing a very, very good job. Steve has done a great job at quarterback. Adam, the offensive line, defensive, we're getting the ball back, which is the key.
Also, talk about your defense. You know, you start to slow down the straight T against this Exeter. They give them a couple big plays. Right now, your defense is playing pretty well.
Yeah, the defense, we're mixing it up pretty well. We're going to a big and a small lineup, but the defense has played really, really well. After, you know, a couple first downs, did a good job stopping them. That's the key of this game. We just got to get the ball back.
All right, thank you very much, Coach. Best of luck in the second half. As head coach Tony Johnson of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, as the Bishop Guertin is up 28-0 over the Exeter Blue Hawks. Back to you guys in the booth.
And a great job by Ryan Richard to get Tony Johnson just before the half.
Yeah, he is all business,
Yep.
but I'm sure that.
But what did he say after those first couple runs? You know, we gave up a couple of first down runs, and then boom, we shut him down.
He said the key to this game is to get the ball back. That's about the key to any game, I think.
I know it.
But yeah, he doesn't want Exeter to get that rhythm going down the field, and they haven't come anything close to that. I mean, the BG defense has been so tremendous that Exeter hasn't even shown a sign of offense.
Not
what
a
are they
sign.
gonna do?
Not a sign. I don't know, but I'll have some numbers to add up as we come back for the second half.
So John Collins with Tom King. We are about to watch the Bishop Guertin band perform here at halftime. We will take a break and enjoy this performance, and we will be back with second half action. 28-0. Bishop Guertin leads at the half.
stupid and ugly.
Who's going to stop this?
If not you,
then who?
Take a stand. Lend a hand. Stop bullying now.
Welcome back to second half action on Nashua's ETV. BG leading Exeter 28-0. Ryan Richards down on the field. Ryan?
I've talked to head coach Bill Ball of Exeter. He told me when he told his players at halftime that they had forget about the scoreboard, take it one play at a time. You know, he knows his team's down 28-0. He wants his kids to play smart, take one play at a time. Also on defensively, they got to eliminate the big plays. Let's try to slow down Bishop Guertin's running attack of Hall and Kelly, and hopefully his team can show a better performance in the second half. Back to you guys in the booth.
Well, you wonder, John Collins, whether, thank you, Ryan. You wonder, John Collins, whether Bill Ball had these numbers in front of him. 234 Bishop Guertin yards to just 39 for his Exeter Blue Hawks.
That's hurt. I don't think he wants to see that. He doesn't want to, he knows, he gets the gist of it, but I don't think he has the exact numbers. But good job by Ryan to score that interview with Bill Ball. He didn't look too excited in that sideline shot that we just had about the prospects.
They're
in the
not
second
used
half.
to being down 28-0, you know, and
I think he's already trying to figure out what he's going to do in the championship game.
I remember, yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember Bill Ball last year after talking to him on his own turf that Friday night after Guertin beat him 45-9, and you know, he knew he had a tough semifinal to play against a Timberlane team that had already beaten him during the year. So at that point in time, you know, Ball had a lot on his mind. But right now, he knows there's really only, one team that is consuming him, and that's this Bishop Guertin Cardinal team.
And it's consumed him for a few years. The Cardinals and Blue Hawks have met in each of the past 4 Division II championship games, with BG winning 3 of the 4. Ryan Card kicks it off to Exeter. It is fielded at the 18-yard line, and a decent return there. He loses the ball, but the ball hit the ground, and it is a return for Exeter Blue Hawk number 22, Donnie Denman, back to the 30-yard line. First and 10 for the Blue Hawks to start the second half, trailing by 4 big scores, 28-0.
John, it's all about speed. You know, it is all about speed. I mean, Guertin already has Kelly with 112 yards. You know, they've got, Koopa, who has got 90 yards on the ground, and Adam Hall's got 82. I mean, you do that with speed.
Tyler Holsworth hands the ball off and stuffed up the middle. There were a few BG players involved in that tackle. We'll give credit to number 5, Tom Barilli, and also Nick Phillips standing up the ball carrier and driving him back from the linebacker position. It is a loss of a yard on the play, and it'll be, it's the gain. Was on the 30. Now they say 29 on the clock, but it's 31 on the field. So we'll go with a 1-yard gain for Exeter. 2nd and 9 for the Blue Hawks, we'll call it, or a long 8. Holsworth almost runs into his intended ball carrier. I believe that was a busted play, and it goes for a big loss on the play. Great job getting into the backfield by the BG linebackers and defensive line with the penetration of what looked like a busted play. 3rd and 14 for Exeter, going in the wrong direction, starting off here in the second half. John Collins with Tom King, Ryan Richard down on the field.
That's just not what you've got 39 total yards in the first half. That's just not what you want to see. Your quarterback taking the ball backwards like that.
So do we subtract 4 off the 39 now?
Yeah,
35 total yards?
of course. They're down, they're down to 35 total yards in this football game.
That is embarrassing for this unbeaten team. And handoff. Good move, but just back to the original line of scrimmage was Zach Kelleher before he was tackled again by Phillips, and also it's like in the area to help make the stop was Nick Solano. So it'll be 4th and 11, and an easy decision for Bill Ball and Exeter. They'll have to punt.
And he's got to hate to give the ball up to this Guertin offense. He's got to hate it.
Callahan's punt's a fair catch for Kelly at his own 44-yard line.
That's a tough decision for Kelly. You've got to catch that ball because you don't want it to bounce all the way down the field. So he's got to come up and catch it. even though he knows he's in traffic.
Right.
You know, I tell you, I think the toughest job in all of football, besides kicking, you know, is the punt return.
Yeah, you have to have nerves of steel, don't you?
You got to for both jobs, you know, and you know, a lot of concentration. But for punt return, I think that's got to be the toughest job because you know you're going to get hit.
BG's first offensive play of this second half, leading 28-0, trying to add to it. Cupa holding on to it. He's got an option play. He's going to keep it, and he's going to pick his way past midfield. Forward momentum will get him to the 49. The ball's on the turf, and let's see. BG gets it back.
Yeah,
Adam Hall
recovered it. But you know what? I was just going to say Cooper beat me. That play beat me to it. I'm watching Cooper run, and I was going to tell you after that run, Cooper got lucky. He's got to watch out how he's carrying the football.
Little bit of carelessness, possibly. But again, I think that's the third time that BG's put the ball on the ground, at least tonight, and they have not turned it over. Handoff, Cupa up the middle. Hall is corralled, but not till he gets a gain of about 3.
Yeah, I think he's close to a first down. He may have it. It depends on the spot.
Well, they're putting the down marker right next to the chain.
Oh, man, that can't get much closer. If it's that close, you've got to measure. Evidently not. They're not going to call for one.
They just did.
Yep. You have to. You have to call. If you've got the down marker that close, you've got to call for a measure. If you're an official, you look over on the sidelines. That took them far too long. If I'm Bill Ball, I'm upset about that because that takes time off the clock. And I'm down 28 points.
Our frozen duo is Jim McLean down on the field with the handheld camera and Tim O'Neill up top with the overhead shot that you're getting there.
Tim O'Neill looks about as cold tonight as he did for a couple of those games that we did in Conway Arena last year.
and
that was before the game.
So it is a first down.
As he's setting up the equipment.
Mike Janes is sitting next to me running the board, as they say, and minding the production values of tonight's game. Ryan Richer, our sideline reporter, will be going to him again shortly as Steve Cupa calls the signals and hands it up the middle to Hall. It's not a big back, but he's been getting big back type of assignments with the running plays right up the middle. He's been untouched on a few touchdown runs tonight, but that's...
He has just developed the art of a running back. That's what this year has been all about for Adam Hall. He has turned into a running back. It's too bad. I think he's going to play lacrosse in college. I think this is his last few weeks of football, which is too bad because, I mean, he's probably needs to get a little bigger, too, if he wants to play in college. But at the same time, he has developed some really good running back skills in terms of getting those tough yards.
Up the middle, and still on his feet. Terrific gain right there for Tom Barilli. I think that caught Exeter off guard. The handoff to Barilli. They might have been keying on Hall again. And it is a first down and 10 to go on the 30-yard line. So after punting from their own 30, Exeter gives up all those yards, and BG driving toward what could be their 5th score of this game, leading 28-0 with 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Cupa coming up under center. And he will hand it off to Hall. He is up the left hash mark, gets a gain maybe 3 or 4, lunges forward for another one. He's a difficult ball carrier to bring down, as Exeter's been finding out time and again. In on the tackle, Colton Schricker for the Blue Hawks, but not before Hall gets a healthy 5 yards on first down.
Mark Phillips, the offensive coordinator, just checking with the sideline to see if he's got 4 down territory all the way, and I think 28-0 lead, you've got to give him that, and they do.
Let's see if Exeter can force a 4th down or if it'll just be move the chains like a train for BG up the middle. Keeping the choo-choo moving there is Adam Hall for a first down for BG, so it only took him 2 downs to get a first down that time. 1st and 10 at the 17. So we have a drive going here for BG, very workmanlike. Had some spectacular fireworks type of runs by Mike Kelly in the first half. This is BG's first possession of the second half, and it's a very, look, I saw some jumping going on, but no flags, and it's a handoff to Hall. He gets maybe a yard, if that.
Yeah, he slid down across the 15. The jumping was because Cupa was using a quick count
Yeah, I actually thought they could have called offside on the quarterback there, but nobody jumped for Exeter, so it just went
almost
uncalled.
Almost. Hall squeezed 2 yards out of that run.
So it'll be 2nd and 8 because of that 2-yard run. The ball spotted at the 15-yard line. Battle of New Hampshire's Division II, 2 elite teams has become a bit one-sided here as Hall goes up the middle, and he wasn't hit till he had a gain of 6 or 7 already, and then he added 3 or 4 more on top of it. It is a first down for BG. So we were just talking about 4-down territory for BG. They're not going to need 4th downs the way this drive is moving along rapidly. 6 yards to go for another score. It's 1st and goal for the Cardinals. Exeter trying to find a way to put the brakes on this runaway train.
Probably Phillips. Nope, it's Hall.
Hall. And he is in. He really wasn't hit hard until he was beginning his subdued touchdown celebration. Adam Hall with his, I believe, 3rd touchdown of the game. And it is a 34-0 BG lead as Ryan Card will go for the extra point. This is a one-sided battle right now as Card's extra point goes through the uprights for the 5th time tonight. 7th time. Yeah. Let me do the math. 35 goes into 7 5 times. 5 extra points for
9 plays. 9 plays. Hey, he's automatic. 9 plays, 56 yards for the Cardinals, and that'll cement it. That will do it. In terms of course, I can hear remotes being changed all over in living rooms. But really, I mean, it's Guertin is not going to have any problems with the rest of this game. And down we go to Ryan Richer. Ryan, take it away.
Hey guys, more bad news for Exeter right now. One of their starting offensive linemen, Jacob Peterson, is getting worked up on the bench right now. Maybe twisted on his ankles, getting taped from the athletic trainers right now. We'll see if he gets back in the game. Back to you guys.
Well, if I'm Exeter, I give him the rest of the night off regardless. Because he's a starter, and I want him healthy for the playoffs next week. I'm in a 35-0 game. I don't want him out there on the field right now.
Senior at 5'11" and 250. He'll probably not see any more snaps tonight. As Ryan Richard just pointed out, at a quality starter for Exeter that they will need in the playoffs that begin next weekend. And probably they'll be hosting Winnicott next weekend. The kick is a low one there.
Ooh, taken on a line drive. You're usually supposed to see a pooch kick, and you don't see that.
Some heavy hits there. And delivering the blow as much as he took it, Donnie Denman, number 22 for Exeter. So
I was going to say, John, with Guertin right now, they have a chance for 3, depending if Koopa is back in the game, which he may not be. He may be done for the night. If he wasn't and he had the ball, carries the ball, they have a chance if he can get 5 yards or 6 yards. They have a chance for 3 100-yard rushes.
Wow.
Because Hall's got 108 yards on 19 carries. Kelly's got 112 on 4, and that's not counting the kickoff return. But you don't count that in rushing yardage anyway. So that's just incredible.
Colton Schricker on the carry.
Against this defense.
Schricker gets maybe 3 or 4 on that. They'll give him 4. Actually 5. Ball's marked at pretty close to the 35. They need to get to the 40, so we'll call it a gain of 5. 2nd and 5 for the Exeter Blue Hawks.
That's actually one of the better gains tonight for Exeter.
I know it. They have scored 21 points.
Oh, what a hit.
And that's a terrific job by...
It's really tough because one of the things, you think this Guertin team is all about finesse, but they're showing tonight the way they're physically playing on defense. They're going to hit, and they're going to hit hard.
Yeah.
Kelleher's going to remember that tomorrow morning when he wakes up. He just got popped.
Barilli and Kell get credit on that violent stop. It's 35-0. BG's offense has done the job, but the defense has really been what has discouraged Exeter from thinking they have any chance of getting back in this game. BG's defense has been sending Exeter back the wrong way. quick hitter over the middle is complete to Donnie Denman. Good job by Tyler Colesworth, the quarterback, stepping back, faking the handoff, and throwing the strike over the middle to get the first down.
Well, there they go. They had to do something to open up and loosen up that Guertin defense. That's the one thing. Andrew Kukic last year, the quarterback for Exeter, was a Velas type threat. He was a threat throwing the ball, was a threat running it. And, you know, basically what he is what he's done is he's just been able to, you know, what Holsworth has done is run the ball a couple of times this year, but they don't have the air game that they had last year.
That is another handoff following a successful pass that really doesn't do much. They call it 3, 2nd and 7.
Was that Kelleher on the carry?
Missed it.
But that's, you know, that's the thing is Exeter's offense tonight showing me the fact that they're down so many points and they're still running the football as they were in the second quarter is more one-dimensional than they probably would like it to be.
Holsworth's handoff just barely gets it away to Brian Dunn, I believe, number 20.
Yeah, that was done, and it was a quick handoff, and reading the play very well for Guertin on that play was just a great play by Pat Rhodes to just come right in there and wrap him up and read the play automatically.
There is not too much real estate being used up in Exeter's offensive game plan here. It's like you could put basically a shot put circle behind the center where most of the action takes place, and BG's defense is just zeroed in on that and taken away the offense. There's a nice little dart over the middle again, but it's going to be well short of a first down. It was 3rd and 9 to go. It was a gain of about 3 or 4 to the midfield stripe. Donnie Denman was the receiver on the play. He didn't get too greedy, but it's almost, you know, 4th down territory coming up here. Is it 3rd and?
Yeah, they got 5.
Penalty
so
or what?
4th and 4. I don't know what the officials are talking about. I didn't see a flag on the field.
I didn't see a flag either.
No.
But the official is going to say something to us right here. Phil McCarthy, personal foul.
Yeah, that's just, there's just no reason for those kinds of penalties, and that's something.
Well, get a shot of Tony Johnson right now down in front of us.
Yeah, look at him. I mean, he's not happy at all about that. He's a perfectionist. You know, he's the coaches coach to the last minute. They don't take time
I believe
off.
he was talking to the official, though, and not to his own players, so I don't know exactly if that was something.
Roughing passer was going to be called.
Roughing the passer.
Yeah.
Two personal fouls on the same play.
There's a penalty for roughing the passer.
The other one, I thought might have had something to do with an infraction on the sideline. Maybe
well,
players
one of
on
them
the field
was during the play, and one of them was a dead ball foul. So they will both get marked off. That's 30 yards of real estate that Guertin's going to lose.
I've never seen that happen, if that's going to happen.
It's two 15-yard
There's 15.
penalties.
They're going to mark them both off. I have never seen
one of them
that.
is a dead ball foul.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
A 30-yard swing in between two players.
Yeah.
It's two personal fouls, and they're both marked off. I always thought you had to take one or the other, but like you said, one was a dead ball foul.
One was a dead ball foul, so you don't have after the play.
So it's
That's
1st
automatic.
and 10 for Exeter, their biggest gain of the night because of
And another
compound.
flag, and you
That's
wonder,
a flag before the ball was
you wonder
snapped.
if that's got to be any words from Guertin after that type of play.
It may be.
Let's see.
Here comes
It's
our
going to be on
official,
Guertin. They're
Phil
moving back. They're
McCarthy.
moving back again.
That is a
Offside, lined up
call.
offside. So Guertin's flustered on defense because of that.
All right, so that's 35
These guys,
yards in penalty.
The way they've played on defense in the second half, with a minute and a half to go, 1:47 to play in the third quarter, 35-0 to score in favor of Exeter, in favor of Bishop Guertin. Sorry, they want a shutout. They want to see the shutout. They want the 0 up there on the board.
Exeter's best chance to avoid a shutout right here. 1st and 10, and a sack. Holsworth could have handed it off to Colton Tricker. He chose not to, and he paid the price. He was sacked. So instead of 1st and 5 to go, they quickly give up the advantage, and it becomes 2nd and 9. Exeter again going in the wrong direction. They benefited from a 35-yard penalty there, basically 3 together, and they quickly give up 4 and a down. 2nd and 9. Ball's at the 19-yard line. A minute to go in the third quarter. Exeter trailing, and the ball's deflected. It looked like number 37, Nick Phillips, batted the pass in midair and prevented the completion.
If you're Guertin, you're taking note of these quick passes from Holdsworth in the middle of the field to Denman. I mean, those are quick hits, and that's what Exeter is trying to do, quick handoffs, quick hits. So when you're looking at a possible rematch here, you're looking at those quick pass plays as something that you've got to do a better job of defending against the second time around, because they will be used.
You know, the field is 52 yards wide, Tom, but the Exeter offense is only using a very small patch of it tonight.
Very good point, John, and that's what I talk about with terms of speed. Exeter is just a different type of team. Just a different type of team.
Colton Schricker turns forward for a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down and 6. So the big sack figuring in this series, and now BG, as Tom said, trying to get that shutout. That's the matter that will keep our viewers glued to the set right now as we go to the fourth quarter. Can they get that shutout with the 4th and 6th play forthcoming when they change sides of the field? John Collins with Tom King in the booth. We'll just go to the fourth quarter of play here at Stellos Stadium. Coming into this game, both of these teams were unbeaten with very impressive records, especially BG's. I mean, they were just annihilating their opponents throughout the season. The closest game for BG all season was on October 24 when they beat Keene 41-19. That was the closest game all season for BG, a 22-point win. Holdsworth has all kinds of pressure, and a sack executed there on 4th and 6. An exclamation point by Kyle Carrasca in the backfield.
And is a Guertin player down on the field, and that's something you don't want to see.
Absolutely not.
That's Pat Rhodes.
Helmet was to us, but as Tom said, he recognized
I hear
it's
the
Pat
staff
Rhodes.
saying it was Pat Rhodes, so we'll have to wait and see if he rolls up. But it looks like 84 on the side.
Tony Johnson goes out onto the field. Tony's the head coach. The captains of the team, Nick Phillips, Brett Cana, Nick Solano, Walter Kell.
He's up. That's one of the things that Guertin has. They lost Cooper for one game with injury. He got banged up early in the year. They have plenty of depth. There have been past years, John, where they've had to overcome some real big injuries to their team, and have done it.
Yeah.
You know, but this year's team is so deep that they've had a couple of injuries that you really don't hear about because they haven't affected them.
I think we're seeing some substitutions now. We'll try to keep track of them. Underneath center, I think that's still Cupa in the game. No, it's number 10. It's Kajowski. He hands the ball off up the middle. And it is a short gain there for BG. The assistant coaches for Bishop Guertin, Mark Phillips, John Ahern, Bruce Dean, Rocky Manazian, Dave Rodell, John Croteau, George Cristalaris, John Belviso, John Varney, and Dick Dyer. 11 minutes to go in the game. It's 35-0 BG trying to add to that lead. The handoff, actually the keeper, Kajowski, drops it, picks it up. He's tackled from behind by number 30, Joshua King for the Blue Hawks. Ryan Richards down on the sideline.
Chris Kajowski recovers those.
Hey guys, the injured Bishop Guertin player, John Sheets, who was down on the field, popped up and seems to be walking a little gingerly on the sidelines, but it doesn't seem to be that major of an injury. Back to you guys.
That's good news. Thank you, Ryan. It's going to bring
up. He said it was Cheech, but I think it was Rhodes. They're both 84, but I think Rhodes was still in the game at that point.
It was Rhodes. We have confirmation, so we have a double number on the roster. That's why Ryan misspoke. But it's 3rd down and 4, and it is a first down for BG.
Elias Cassis right now is getting some some carries. He was an every down guy a little bit last year, and his role kind of changed. And he hasn't, complained about it one bit. And even he got an every down shot when Hall was banged up a little bit in the middle of the year. And you didn't know about it because Cassis ran for over 120, 130 yards that night. Incredible depth on this football team. Incredible depth, John.
It's remarkable to me that you're saying that Exeter is more likely to go up to Division I than BG. Sprinting and then flinging it to Kelly.
Goodness.
Kelly's got some room. Actually, it's not Kelly. Excuse me. It's number 24, and that's Elias Casas. And Casas with a huge gainer. What a play by Kajowski and Casas. That's exciting when the quarterback waits to the last possible fraction of a
so
second.
precise, and I cringe every time I see it in high school football because I just have a hard time imagining high school players being able to carry it out, but they can. It's it's incredible. It dies when you get to the pros.
Yeah.
They just don't run it. College teams run it all the time, but the pros, it's not part of the pro game.
I think you just don't want to give like a guy like Ray Lewis a running shot at the quarterback.
You're probably right. That's a good point. I never thought of that.
And up the middle, look at Elias Casas still on his feet at the 20. He's tackled at about the 18-yard line. Elias Casas from his own 40, a 20-yard run, or 21 yards. It's a first down for BG. With these two running teams that we have, one good thing, Tom, from perspective of fan or a broadcaster, the games go quick when the ball's on the ground.
They do.
And BG looking to expand on this 35-0 lead.
But they also go quick because it's 35-0 and it's running time, John.
Oh, that's running time.
Remember that.
Up the middle.
Flag on a play. Let's see.
Late flag, too.
Yep.
So this might negate the 3-yard run.
Sideline warning.
Too many people on the field.
Yep. Sideline warning.
Too close to the field.
Officials have issued a sideline warning. Bishop Guertin. Mayu picked up 4 yards on the play. Will be second and 6 at the 16.
Mayu with the carry. So it was a 4-yard carry. It's second and 6. The handoff, I believe it's number 44 with the ball. That's Alex Eaton. And he gains, let's see, they spotted at the 10. They give him 5. He's just 1 yard shy of the first down. Needs to get to the 9 for the first down. Ball is at the 10. 3rd down and 1. 7 minutes to go. Both teams, both coaches are treating this like scrimmage time right now.
Yeah, they have to now. I mean, you don't want your guys hurt.
With
Guertin offensive staff leaving with, of course, running time.
And
that's
Kajowski holds on to it. He's going to be tackled around the 5-yard line. He's got the first down. BG maintains possession. As BG basically has maintained possession all game, Tom. It's been a one-sided game.
I didn't expect it to be this one-sided. I thought maybe 24, 20, 28, 14, 35, 14.
We talked about it earlier, but in case anybody missed it, they're still with us. Last season, BG won the regular season game 45-9.
Yeah, but that was
Exeter.
a going away 45-9. You know, that wasn't a.
I don't care. You know, it was 45-9.
It was a close game at halftime.
And I'm just trying to make the point that the final, the championship game, 14-7.
Yeah,
but now, do you dare to say that the same thing's going to happen this year?
The 45-9 game last year was a team rising to the occasion and making every good play it possibly could in a tough, hostile environment. 2 good teams where one team pulled away.
Handoff, Kajowski up the middle. And I'll have to wait to see who that was when Zach Mayu with the 4-yard gain. And ball's at the 1. 1 yard to go for another BG score. They are keeping it very conservative here. I mean, Tony Johnson's basically got no other choice except to take a knee, and he's not going to do that. Running time, BG has a chance to put up
this
42 points here.
This is different. This is a situation where one team is clearly that far of another level above the other.
And the run is a touchdown for BG. Let's see who's got the football.
Kajowski on the keeper.
Kajowski on the keeper.
1 yard run.
For 1 yard. 5:19 to go in the ball game. BG's kicker, Ryan Carr, trying to put through his 6th extra point tonight, which would make it a 42-0 game. The holder there, Tom Barilli. It's up. It's good. It is 42-0. The Cardinals lead the Blue Hawks here at Stellos Stadium on a chilly night, but a perfect night for football here in November.
42. Exeter 0.
Look for more Nashua area teams on Nashua ETV as the playoffs begin next weekend. It'll be Bishop Guertin hosting Alvern.
That's what it will be.
Exeter will be hosting Winnicott out on the seacoast.
That'll be a good game. You see, that's the thing, is they've got to take this game, turn it around, and get ready for a rivalry game in the playoffs. That's not easy to do. Not easy to do at all. And they have to bounce back and turn around. And what Bill Ball's job is to do is just forget about this game. Forget about what they're going to do in
2
a rematch.
weeks from now.
Just worry about one game.
Or there won't be a 2 weeks
right,
from now.
worry about one game, and then try to get that level a little bit closer. And I bet they'll be able to do it. I bet they'll be able to make it a little bit of a closer game next time they play.
And they're going to have to write a few more pages on the offensive scorebook. That ball bounces toward BG, and it's Exeter's ball. It was loose.
Well, see,
for
that's
quite
the
a
one
few
thing.
seconds.
2 turnovers produced 2 scores in the first half for Guertin. You cannot turn the ball over against them. That's one way to close the gap a little bit.
Zachary Sheltra for Exeter with the recovery. 4:50 to go in the ball game. We've lost our assistant coaching staff for BG that was providing some body warmth.
You can't get it, body warmth and inside.
Now I feel a draft.
And inside information.
Yeah.
You know, we
Yeah.
got some inside information sitting next to the coaches.
4:30 to go in the game. Exeter's offense down on the field. Number 12, the quarterback is Jamison Timon, a sophomore. 6'1" and 160. He is now running the offense for the Blue Hawks as their starting unit is no longer on the field. That was a gain of 3. 2nd down and 7 for the Blue Hawks. John Collins with Tom King. Ryan Richer is down on the field and will be bringing us a post-game interview, hopefully with one of the stars of the BG team, if not Tony Johnson and some of the players. What a great hit there. I think it was number 38 that delivered the blow for BG. Matt Flynn, the linebacker, the sophomore. Number 19 on the carry, Jonathan Spivey, will, as Tom has said before about other plays, feel that tomorrow. 3:25 to go in the ball game. Jogging back onto the field, Jamison Timon. What a great name. Spells the first name Jamison. It's like a great football name, you know?
Mm-hmm. Great.
Pitches it. Good gain for Exeter. He's got a 1st down and more. Number 32 with the ball is Connor Carrier. He is the ball carrier.
There you go.
The carrier on that play, which resulted in an Exeter first
And we even had a pun from the PA announcer inadvertently. 2:45 to go in the ball game.
Carrier with an 7-yard run. One of the few long runs that they have been able to muster here against this second unit.
Timon calling the signals, and he will hand it off. Big fullback bowling his way forward is Joshua Poland.
Number 29, Joshua
Poulin. He is a
Got
junior.
about 5 on that.
Just over 2 minutes to go in the ball game. 42-0. BG has made a loud statement tonight that they are the prohibitive favorites in the Division II New Hampshire High School championship run. Handoff is up the middle. Not much there for Exeter, however. In on the tackle, direct hand in it was number 22, Kyle Remillard for BG. 1:35 to go in the ball game. Clock continues to roll. It was a first down, however, for Exeter at their own 45-yard line. It's interesting to me that they just won't throw the football here. I mean, they're going to run out of time, I think, staying on the ground. The handoff
just as you
rolling
say.
out, and the pass is tightrope job complete. Nice job. Number 82 for Exeter is Andrew Grillo, who managed to keep both feet in and take the pass from Jamison Timon. Nicely done by Exeter.
About what? About 16?
Yes, they did. They're at the 40 of BG, and they're threatening to put a point or two on the board here. We're under 1 minute to play. The clock is running. One-step drop, a fingertip grab that looked like it might have been.
Good catch.
Grillo again. Let's see who gets up off the ground.
Good catch
there
by Grillo. He just reached up and snared it
Good
for
hands.
about 4 or 5 yards.
30 seconds. If they're going to score, they're going to have to go right to the end zone right now, Tom. This clock is running. The Blue Hawks run up to the line. I don't know. Let's see if Jameson Timon's got the arm to throw the ball 35 yards in the air. With 20 seconds left to go, he will hand it off up the middle. A tremendous couple of licks served up there by BG, including in on the tackle to finish it off was Anirudh Dwarakanath. The name could not end. The game could not end before I got that name in there. Anirudh Dwarakanath with the hit.
One more play, and it's going to be a negative play and a sack.
A positive play, however, for Jake McCabe, who executes the snap.
That's almost fitting in the way things have gone, and that'll do it, John. And what we saw tonight is just an incredible BG team. 35-0.
We do have reason to stick around, though, for Ryan Richard down on the field. He's going to try to snag us a BG coach or player or two. Ryan Richard, take it away down on the field. Not yet. We do want to wait for the handshakes to get those out of the way, and there's a lot of handshakes to be made. You can see that BG's got a healthy squad down there, as does Exeter, and as good sportsmanship dictates, they will shake hands and say, hopefully, see you in 2 weeks. 42-0. Bishop Guertin defeats Exeter, their rivals in Division II. Tom King, thank you very much. Great job.
John, we'll see what happens down the road with this football team. You know, they've stayed healthy most of the year. Just an incredible job. I said to somebody today, you know, those 50-0 games, it's not going to be like that, and it was like that, and that is an incredible, scary statement by Bishop Guertin.
That's Tom King, and he'll be back with us next week as the playoffs begin on Nashua's ETV. We'll be going to Ryan shortly when we get confirmation that we do have an interview down in the field. Good job by our camera crew once again. Tim O'Neill up top, Jim McLean with the handheld down below. Next to me, Mike Janes running the production. Ryan Richer is our sideline reporter. Our executive producer, Pete Johnson. Ryan is going to try to, I would imagine, Nick Phillips, so we talked about him as a defensive specialist, or also we could go to Mike Kelly to ask him, so how do you run away from the field and just hide, basically, from everybody? I'm fast. I'm fast when I wake up in the morning, fast when I go to bed at night. But we have a conference down there. You see Tony Johnson is trying to keep these kids from, you know, getting overly confident. It's got to be a tough task when you see how many great scores they have put up this season. Coach Johnson has promised to talk with us after he talks to his squad. So that's what's going on right now. It's an intrusion that, as a reporter, when you get down on the field, you try to stay out of these, which are, even though they're on the field, the coach, it's almost like a private talk that they're having, because sometimes, I think in BG's case, the locker room just can't hold everybody. So they do it right on the field. And we're going to go down to Ryan Richer right now. I see he's talking with Coach Tony Johnson of Bishop Guertin. Ryan?
Mark, go get Nicky.
I got Coach with me.
Good. Okay, Ryan, we're all set.
Thanks, buddy.
Whenever you're ready.
Hey guys, we're down here at Stellos Stadium with the winning head coach of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, Tony Johnson, as he led his team to a 42-0 victory over Exeter Blue Hawks. Coach, a big performance from your team tonight, 4 quarters, as you never trailed throughout.
All right, we did a great job. This was a tremendous game for us. We made a few mistakes in the first quarter. We had some holding penalties and things like that. We didn't lose our composure. We stayed to the game plan. I think the defense played great. The offense was explosive. Our special teams were great. So it was a tremendous victory for us.
And with this win tonight, you clinch home field advantage throughout. How does that feel for your team?
Wow. This place is like a warm blanket. It really is. I mean, the city of Nashua has done a great job building this facility. I love being here. I really do. So we got home field advantage, and it feels great.
And, it was only 2 weeks ago where you played the Alvin Broncos. Now you face them in the first round.
Well, it's going to be a different Bronco team. Remember, there were 2 of their starting guys, Baldwin and Goldsack, were out, and I thought those 2 guys were one of the best, probably the 2 best players on the team. So Goldsack is back, and I expect Baldwin to be back too. So it's going to be a very different Alvin team.
Thank you very much, Coach. Best of luck in the playoffs. Yeah. And now we're going to bring in linebacker of Bishop Guertin, Nick Phillips, who led this Cardinals defense with a big performance. Britt, come in there, Nick. Now, a big performance from your defense. Hey, as you first quarter only gave out the Blue Hawks 39 yards of total offense.
So we were just flying around. We had a great week of practice and just up-tempo game, just flying around, whacking people. That's how our defense plays. We've been on it all year, and we carried it over to this game, and now we got to carry it over to the next round. And just glad we're at home.
And this tight T is a hard offense to defend. How did you guys prepare throughout the week?
I mean, it's methodical. We knew they were going to try to hold the ball, keep it away from our high-powered offense. But we've seen it enough freshman year. We've seen it enough. Me and Walter, 3-year starters now. We've seen it for 3 years, so we know it like the back of our hand now.
And you being a senior, you got 2 more games to go. How does it feel to know that you're going to be playing on your home field throughout those 2 games left?
It's great. I mean, we feed off the energy here, and I love playing here. And it definitely benefits us. Depending on the weather and stuff, that's really not a factor when we play on turf, and just benefits our speed and stuff. And I'm pumped. 2 more games. That's what it's all about.
Thank you very much, Nick. Best of luck in the playoffs. That was Nick Phillips of the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, linebacker, as his defense pitched a shutout over the Blue Hawks as they win 42-0. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you. That's Ryan Richer with Nick Phillips and Tony Johnson, the Bishop Guertin Cardinals, with a huge statement, 42-0. I'm going to give Ryan a second to walk the length of the field, basically, to speak with Coach Ball, if he can. The losing coach tonight, but a tremendously successful coach overall during his time at Exeter, who had a rough night tonight and will most likely have to face the same team on the same playing field in 2 weeks if things go well for him against Winnacunnet next week. So the question is, does he want to speak to Ryan tonight? Looks like he may decline the interview as the team kind of circles the wagons. So we'll do that. Good job, Ryan. We'll end the broadcast here and ask everybody to be with us as the playoffs begin. It'll be Bishop Guertin hosting Alvern next week, and North will be hosting Central. It'll be a very exciting weekend of high school playoff football here at Stellos Stadium. The final score for the final time: Bishop Guertin defeats Exeter 42-0. Bishop Guertin remains unbeaten on the season. For our camera crew, Tim O'Neill, Jim McLean, Mike Janes, our executive producer Pete Johnson. I'm John Collins, thanking Tom King and Ryan Richer and you for watching high school football here live from Stellos Stadium. Good night, everybody.